And I just thought this was so interesting that it might be helpful for people, because I'm thinking, this is a guy's perspective. This is very helpful. So I don't even know how we got started on it, but because I just got a text from someone, and I'm like, what? Like, every once in a while he sends a text, and like, it's not where I'm annoyed at him yet, but he's not going anywhere with it. And so you said, okay, this is called the blah,
this
blah,
is called
blah.
breadcrumbs.
So this is a technique, which drives me crazy, because why are there techniques to just lead people on?
Well, so as a man, you kind of think, okay, here's somebody who might be interesting, but I need to evaluate against all the other women who are potentially interested, and kind of say, okay, which is my first choice, second choice, pursue it that way. And sometimes you don't have enough information. Like, there's not enough pictures, there's a description, but it's vague. You don't know kind of what they're really like. They say they're funny and witty, but sometimes people write that, and
so this is your online dating experience.
My online dating experience.
And this is how you handle it, of like, well, they're not my first or second choice. What were you saying?
So I need to. So it's this is a sound financial strategy. So you need to buy an option, which means you need to spend a little bit of effort to get more information so you can make a better decision. That little bit of effort may be saying, hey, let's exchange some nice photos, some real photos, or let's chat a little bit online so you get to know the person a little bit more without actually committing to spending time with them.
Right, okay. Which is curious, because when I was doing some online dating, which didn't go well for me, you would be like, okay, I'm having some nice conversations. Is this going somewhere or not? So this is nice to hear, kind of like, okay, I wasn't their number one or two choice. They're still gathering information.
Right, and then there were some women who were like, oh no, on to chatting, we have to meet right away.
Oh, no, I'm not like
and
that.
And you're like, okay, and so sometimes I'm not never quite sure. Okay, was it a signal like, gee, they've been doing this for a long time? And a lot of women write in,
right.
If you're a scammer, if you're this, if you're that, don't contact me. Going, well, okay.
It gets a little negative.
It gets a little negative. They've had bad experiences. They've had a tough time.
Right.
That's understandable. That would be difficult and hard to do.
But certainly you want it to be like, are you serious about going somewhere, or are you just trying to date about 20 women and see who's the most exciting? I mean, sometimes you get that feel.
Who's the most exciting? Who's going to sleep with you?
So you are thinking this?
I wasn't thinking that.
Okay.
I've been married for 30 years now, so it's different. But there's still the sense of, okay, how do you how do you kind of know the rest of the story?
Yes.
What's on there. So one experience, a woman who had written that she was tired of online dating, and she posted reference to an article from the New York Times that talked about the 37 steps to fall in love with someone.
37 steps.
And this man had done research about how it is that people fall in love and what were the components and what were the factors.
Okay.
And he developed this procedure, this protocol to go through with a partner and ask each other these 37 questions and have these conversations. Yeah. After which time, and you kind of
makes sense.
You just kind of fall in love with it. So her approach was, okay, are you willing to do this?
Oh, okay.
And I said, if it was the right person. Yes,
right.
But it doesn't mean I'm willing to do it with you. I don't even know who you are.
Well, that sounds a lot like marriage prep. And the Catholic Church has a wonderful preparation process for engaged couples to find out if they are compatible.
And that's
the intention is to see if the marriage will last, if it's a good idea to marry that person. So it's actually a great idea to take these questions. There's a whole focus test. Yeah. Take these questions with the person that you're dating seriously to even see if is engagement the next step. That's a good thing for us.
Yes. And it sounds very, very similar kind of approach. But okay, you're evaluating. But the idea though, was she was saying, okay, she was at a point where she was tired of dating and wanted to find somebody who would do this with her and fall in love.
Well, you can't kind of rush that process.
Right.
And then the falling in love part, that's like, I'm sorry, there aren't steps to it. I mean, there's a process, but you can't check mark everything and say, okay, I'm in love. Are you in love?
Right.
That's kind of putting it in a box.
Right. And very often that falling in love part is not so much a function of the people or how they think or what they do, but an experience they've shared.
Right.
Some kind of interaction where it's a function of what each of them has done, or what each person's role was, or what the dynamic was, that something happened a certain way and as a result became very close.
Right.
So
Well, I just thought it
can't
was
force
very
them.
interesting that you had all these titles for these techniques in a sense that
That's-
men use.
I wouldn't call them.
because
I wouldn't call them techniques. That's maybe kind
it
of.
feels like it's
That
a little
feels like it's a driving. It's a little more deliberate than I think it sometimes is.
Yeah.
But it certainly happens where, you know, and sometimes it's intentional, sometimes it's unintentional. Where people are like, okay, how do I navigate this
Yes.
new landscape?
Yes.
And I've talked to people who were very frustrated by it, very
Sure.
caught off by it, irritated and so forth. And I've talked
Yeah.
to people for whom
Where it
it
worked
worked
for
very
them.
well. We're like,
Yeah.
oh, this. And for me, I was like, oh, it was a great experience. I go, okay,
Huh.
I don't have to try and find women who are,
Right.
you know, if you're not in a
See?
job or environment where you get to meet lots of people,
Right.
it's very difficult.
That's true.
And-
So you were only on the online dating for like a couple
6 months? That's 6 months.
months.
6 months.
And you
Yeah,
met and dated a few people.
Yeah.
And I've been on it for, actually not right now, literally years. I can't tell you how many years. And maybe met 2 people and it wasn't a match.
Oh,
So
that's interesting.
we have very different.
Well, and there are definitely styles on. If you're going online, there are definitely
Yes.
styles.
Yes.
One of the things I've noticed is that, again, I have not seen a lot of men when men write. I've seen a few of them, but I've seen what a lot of people will write is they'll write things like, "I'm funny," "I'm right,
humble.
They
I
will,
like that one.
yeah, but they'll write.
I'm a
They'll
catch.
say, "I'm funny and fun to be with,"
Uh-huh.
but when you read it, it's
so
not funny. It's almost too earnest. Right? Like they're kind of saying, "Here's who I am." And you're
Right.
like, you know, if you're gonna be funny,
Yes.
be a little bit funny, be a little sarcastic.
Yeah, yeah.
It's okay.
Right.
Was number one. What was the other one? Oh, the other one that I kind of that turned off on my mind. I wrote. I said I'm not interested in.
Uh-huh.
You know,
So you'd be really
Metaphors,
good to help someone formulate their online profile, I think.
yeah, because there's a lot of people who.
I literally print mine out because it's so good and so full of information that I'm like, oh, this really describes me very well. I want to hold on to this. When
Well-
I have to use something to describe my personality, this is it. I put a lot of time and thought into
and
it.
they've studied. They said, oh, here's how long it should be. Here's the kinds of things you should. You know, if you're liberal and say avocado, or if you're conservative and you say Clint Eastwood, it has a meaning. I don't know what those are, but you know, some of the best ones I read were too long. But
Okay.
there's one woman I read who it was way too long.
And you
but
didn't like
it was
that?
hysterical.
Oh,
It was the funniest one I'd ever read.
really?
It
And
was really-
were you interested in her because of it?
we went out. We had a great
Oh, you
time.
did? Uh-huh.
We were probably too similar, and we both really liked each other a lot. We'd be really good friends, but
Oh.
you know, didn't date. But it was just it was funny.
Yeah.
But it was literally funny.
Huh.
But she didn't
Yeah.
write. She didn't say, "Oh, I'm funny." She just wrote
She
this
was
whole
funny in
paragraph.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Huh.
there's that's balance. It's,
Yeah.
You know, you're,
Well, I will share real quick too about one of the ones that I felt like was going in a good direction on the site that I was on. And I liked how it progressed. It wasn't too fast. It wasn't too slow.
Yeah.
We talked about ourselves and shared in a really nice way.
Uh-huh.
And then it progressed to can I email you, and then we emailed a little bit, and then your phone number. And it was really interesting once we got to talking a couple times on the phone. It was a disconnect. It was something really weird. Like he'd talk over me and oops, and what'd you say? And it felt really strange. And it was just a few phone calls. And then I shared with him by text that I was going to the doctor's office if he could pray for me. It was when I was going through my health scare.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah. And I said, and I didn't even say anything like got bad news or anything, just I'm concerned. And he goes, I don't know what to even say. I'll just pray for you. And I said, that's great. And then literally dropped off the face of the earth. And I thought, this man doesn't know how to handle someone who might be sick.
Maybe.
And the interesting thing is, I was healed of it. I don't have what they were looking for. And yet he let me go because of fear of it, I think.
Maybe.
Which was great for me to know, because if you're ever going to bail when I'm sick, when we're together, I'd much rather never get involved with you. So that was a very shocking, disappointing one, because we were getting along well, but then when that happened, I thought, wow, dude, you don't know how to care for someone. So that was an easy goodbye.
For men who have, I think for men it's harder because a lot of men don't have that natural nurturing component.
True, yeah. Where I'd be like, oh, what do you need? What are you going through? How do you feel?
And if they've had children, that helps most of the time.
Yeah.
If they've been married, that helps, most of the time. But
right.
Some men it's not part of their makeup.
Yeah.
That's sometimes hard to learn.
Right. Well, I just thought this was a very interesting conversation we're having, and I wanted to share with you all because here I'm trying to figure out a couple of different guys and random text here and there, and another one that I'm kind of like, hey, if he's interested, he's got to pursue. And you know, we've had a nice conversation about where I kind of am in relationship and where he is, but and we've talked about men and asking women out, and you said women can ask men out. I absolutely not. Let a man be a man, because you're emasculating the man and you're ruining it for the other women who are waiting for him to show interest, because there's that or whatever of he's not really that into you. And it's true. If he's not making that move of, hey, it would be really nice to take you out, or hey, I really enjoy getting to know you, then he's not that interested. So women, let it go.
Well,
like, let it go.
But
building a friendship is fine.
You have to start it. So in other words, if you're interested, express it.
Yes.
You know, and then if after a while he doesn't pursue it, then yeah, absolutely. But
the woman does not need to begin it. The man does. He is the pursuer. The woman should show some interest and getting along and be available too. Like I was telling him when I couldn't go on a date, I said, I'm sorry, I can't, but I'm available next weekend or whatever, you know, to not make it difficult for the guy. That's not what I'm talking about.
Sometimes
but the man needs to pursue.
Sometimes they will, you know, again, if it's online or whatever it is, the man may not know, they may not be aware that this person is something that's going to match me and works well. Maybe they kind of skip by them for some reason, and you know, at that point you can say, okay,
it's part of what I didn't like about
that opportunity's
online.
gone. Well, but that's where it's okay for a woman to contact a man and say,
I still wanted them to pursue.
Are you interested? And then come back and go, I didn't notice.
Yeah. And then you always have that story. Oh, how did you meet? Oh, she pursued me. She liked me, and I didn't notice her.
Well, no, but you know, again, online it's just you see faces and sometimes it's just not the right combination, or you're doing something else. You swipe it the wrong way by accident. It's like, oh, they're gone.
Swipe. It's deeper than a swipe. I tell you, there's more to this. So we'll continue this conversation as we continue to understand men, understand women. Have a wonderful night.